Hello and welcome to Afroshowbiz News. My name is Musam Khalipi, and for the next half hour, we will bring you all things art and entertainment from around the African continent. Now, we love hearing from you, so send us those emails at afroshowbiznews@sabc.co.za. Also follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @AfroShowbizNews. Let's get right to it with today's headlines. The movie Cold Harbour is set to open at the Durban International Film Festival. African artists shine at the Black Entertainment Television Awards in America. The Masi Music Outreach performs at the Cape Town Quarter in Cape Town. It's only just weeks now to the Durban International Film Festival. It is the biggest film festival in South Africa. Organisers have announced a lineup edition of Cold Harbour, a South African crime thriller about an abalone smuggling scheme. Abalone is a rare fish that is found in Cape Town. It is often under threat from smugglers. Now a new movie is putting a spotlight to the problem. Cold Harbour, set in Cape Town, infuses police corruption to the storyline. Tony Goroge stars as Sizwe Mia, an ambitious township policeman from Khayelitsha. When a mutilated body of a Chinese man washes up on a Cape Town beach, Sizwe uses this as an opportunity to prove himself and earn the promotion he so desperately needs.
Sizwe Mia wants to make detective, and in time he will. But there's a risk that he may be tempted.
His boss and mentor, Vengse, played by Dion Lott, gives Sizwe the case, but assigns a rookie cop, Ligama, played by Thomas Gumede, to keep an eye on him. The film is a sophisticated action thriller that brings together a number of respected South African and international actors. World War Z and Hotel Rwanda's Fana Mokoena is also in this one too, together with Zolani Mahola from group Freshly Ground. There is also Beijing-born actress Yu Nan and Quinton Chong. Cold Harbour is showing at the Durban International Film Festival on 19 July and will open in cinemas on July 25. Former President Nelson Mandela's contribution to humanity is being celebrated in arts in Port Elizabeth. It's part of the countdown to his July the 18th birthday.
95 art pieces depicting Madiba's remarkable 95-year-long journey. The travelling exhibition was brought to South Africa in aid of the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital Trust.
After the call for entry, there was an exhibition that was launched last year in 18 July, like the Nelson Mandela International Day. And then after that, there was an exhibition that has been traveling all around the world, in South Africa in 21 venues, including London and Barcelona.
700 posters were submitted by various countries. 95 were selected for the global exhibition. They will eventually be auctioned to raise funds for the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital Trust. Ifue Poti, SABC News, Port Elizabeth.
The nominees for the 4th annual South African Savannah Comics Choice Awards have been announced.
Black chicks, like they don't have their own hair, eh? This a lot.
This is the CCA's 4th annual rollout, where comedy fans will get to enjoy the stand-up comedy from a number of different acts. This year's show is held under the point of funny. It comprises of sketches, stand-up, impressionist and witty one-liners from South African comedians. There are 5 nominees in each category as compared to 4 nominees in the previous years. The categories are the Savannah Newcomer Award. Last year, this was taken by Skulk Poseidonhood. The Breakthrough Act Award, where Donovan Goliath, Jason Goliath, Deep Fried Man, and Gageso KG Mohadi have been nominated.
I think comedians are important commentators on what's going on in the country, and I think comedy is a great way to deal with trauma. And we keep giving ourselves so much trauma in this country. Every day there's more trouble. People like to moan, and this is like a big release valve. So I think guys and girls that are good at it should be recognized for what they do.
Other categories include the Comics Choice Comic of the Year Award, which was taken by Trevor Noah last year, the Times Comics Pen Award, and the Savannah Audience Choice Award. Special acknowledgement will be due for Mark Banks for lifetime recognition for his contribution to South Africa's comedy landscape. Banks has been in comedy for more than 25 years, even during the time when it was still risky to criticize the government in South Africa. The actual event of the awards will be held in Monte Casino on the 2nd of August and will have a showcase of comedians.
A lack of production tools, technical expertise and the artistic ability aren't stopping TV producers in Libya during Ramadan. A television soap opera, is trying to beam into living rooms across the Arab world during this holy month. This also happens despite security concerns in the country. Despite security worries in Libya, TV producers are determined to put 2 dramas on air. These are to put the TV industry in the country on track since the start of the conflict that led to the killing of President Muammar Gaddafi.
After the revolution, we found ourselves not just short of capable and experienced crew members, but also a complete absence of experienced crew members such as cameramen, sound engineers and many other media technicians within Libya. But in order to produce work that is up to the standard, we had to employ experienced crew members from Tunisia.
Now 2 Arab drama series are on air during this holy month of Ramadan. These are in Arabic and broadcast to the rest of the Arab world too. One of the shows is the much anticipated Dragonov, which touches on themes from the Libya revolution. Another is Kamoha Ya Akalj, which marks the return of one of Libya's most popular comedians, Abdek Baset Abu Gund. He highlighted problems of making the Libyan TV drama.
The Libyan drama lacks a lot of things. One of the most important elements within the Libyan drama, of course, is the script. We are still suffering from a lack of good script writing. And the other element that is more important is the lack of funding.
Cast and crew will definitely be working under tough conditions. This is because security has become a huge concern, with authorities struggling to restore order. The country has been in a state of near constant turmoil for the past 3 years. We'll now go for a quick ad break, but do stay tuned for more. Nigerian singer Davido received the Best International Act Africa Award at the Black Entertainment Television Awards held in California in the United States of America. He beat South Africa's Mafiki Zola, Ghana's Sarkodie Ye, Nigeria's Tiwa Savage, Tufen from Togo, and Diamond Platnumz from Tanzania. Kenya's Lupita Nyong'o received the Best Actress Award for her performance in 12 Years a Slave. She beat stiff competition from Oprah Winfrey, Kerry Washington, Angela Bassett, and Gabrielle Union.
After triumphing at the 2014 MTV Africa Music Awards with multiple award wins, Nigerian music star Davido won the Best International Act Africa Award at the 2014 BET Awards this week. Other artists who received nomination for the Best International Act were Diamond Platnumz from Tanzania, Mafiki Zola from South Africa, Sarkodie from Ghana, Tiwa Savage from Nigeria, and Tufan from Togo. The BET Awards franchise remains as the #1 program in cable TV history among African Americans. It recognizes the triumphs and successes of artists, entertainers, and athletes in 19 categories.
This week, we take a look at a book titled The Concept of Human Rights in Africa, written by Tanzanian author and professor Issa G. Shivij. Written by Professor of Law at the University of Dar es Salaam, the book moves the debate to social and political rights. He attempts to redefine human rights ideology from the standpoint of the working African people. The author maintains that such a study cannot be politically neutral or uncommitted. He also maintains that the concept of human rights on the continent is intellectually backwards. He looks at the struggles of African people from poverty to job availability. Born in Kilosa, Tanzania in 1946, Shivij was for 36 years a distinguished professor in constitutional law in the University of Dar es Salaam. Has received several national and intellectual distinguished scholar awards, including an honorary doctorate from the University of East London in the UK. Shivij is devoted most of his life to addressing issues on exploitation of Tanzanians through both the national and the international economic and legal orders. The photo exhibition titled 21 Icon Portraits of Nation in celebration of 20 years of democracy is held at the Museum of African Design in Maboneng Precinct in Johannesburg. It ends on the 17th of August.
The 2-month-long exhibition features portraits and short films of 21 of South Africa's greatest social masters, including Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, Sophia Williams-De Bruyn, Ahmed Kathrada, Nadine Gwadima, and George Bizos. Portraits of a Nation includes the last photographic portraits of Nelson Mandela, of which a signed limited edition was sold for a record of 2 million rand in December 2013 and donated to charity. Mercedes-Benz South Africa, as co-sponsor, will be showcasing Nelson Mandela's red Mercedes-Benz 500 SE, built by the employees of Mercedes-Benz South Africa East London plant, and the brand new life-sized C-Class made of wire and beads.
Finnish photographer Tuomo Manninen opened a photo exhibition titled Soweto at a place named The Shack in the township of Soweto, South Africa in Johannesburg. The exhibition ends on the 13th of July.
A series of photographs in the exhibition features Sowetans engaging in run-of-the-mill activities versus the historic imagery of the rioting and turbulent Soweto. We see runners who have just finished the Soweto Marathon, old-school gentlemen teeing off at the Gold Reef Country Club, and a happy family posing at their picnic. It encapsulates what is familiar and unexpected, what makes us the same wherever we may be in the world.
We've had about 5 ambassadors coming in for the opening, and we had a lot of response from, thanks God, The Shack is one of the most loved place in Soweto. People coming to see Bishop Tutu and Nelson Mandela's house. It's in between, and everybody come by to see The Shack. So that's why we chose this place.
Soweto is the latest city to capture his attention in his past series of group portraits called Me We. Manninen focused on the codependency amongst individuals. The Me We series was showcased at the prestigious Venice Biennale and the Arles Photography Festival in France.
Solomon Mahlangu was a South African operative of the African National Congress militant wing Umkhonto weSizwe, convicted of murder by the apartheid administration. Mahlangu was hanged in 1979. Now a movie about his life titled Kalushi, the story of Solomon Mahlangu, has just been made. To talk to us about the movie is director Mandla Dube, as well as Thabo Rametsi, who plays Solomon Mahlangu in the movie. Hello and welcome to Afroshowbiz News.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming. Now, Mandla, as director, why did you decide to make such a film?
Well, at the time I was lecturing at Wits University, and I saw the apathy amongst some of my students, and I also was introduced to Solomon Mahlangu's family at that very same time. And the more I dug and did some research on finding out who he is, and he just inspired me, and I thought, let's share this hero, this unsung hero, with our nation and the world at large.
What about Solomon Mahlangu made you decide that this is the guy I want to do a movie on?
Well, the words that he left us with, my blood will nourish the tree that will bear the fruits of freedom. Tell my people I love them and they must continue the fight. And to me, I just felt like the fight had not been won or accomplished yet. And how about taking his life and putting it on the screen so that we can be able to continue that fight that he was talking about.
All right. Now, Thabo, you play the role of Solomon in the movie. What attracted you to this role?
It was an interesting thing for me to play because the way the script was written, Solomon wasn't the protagonist. His actions didn't lead the story forward. It was another character played by Thabo Malema called Mondi. It was his actions that pushed the story. And what Solomon is, he's the innocent bystander, sort of, who gets dragged into a world where maybe he didn't want to be in, but he has to, step up to the plate. And it was so interesting to see, the other side, the hero is the sidekick, in a way, And that's beautiful. I think that was a great challenge for an actor to play that.
Now, Mandla, you have quite a vast cast. What was the selection of the cast? What was the criteria, rather?
Well, we did the casting period, I think, took us something like 9 months, if not more. It was very long. So the criteria was to find, actors and actresses that could be able to have, some chemistry and synergy with each other, and to have resonance to the characters on the screen. So it was quite a tough process, and we saw a lot of people, over 300, maybe even 400, because we had started even casting in Mpumalanga, where Solomon Mahlangu originally comes from. We just couldn't find the right characters, or the right actors, I should say, to play the characters. So it was fun. It was fun, but the cast, you get your cast, you've got 90% of your film done, and they did a wonderful job.
All right. Now, Mandla, what aspects of his life did you choose to use and which ones did you choose to leave out?
Well, we looked at his early life as much as we could in as far as, because he's a boy who was able to get inspiration from having gone to initiation. So we touched a little bit on that, and then obviously we touched on how his regular day lifestyle was interrupted by the uprising of June 16, and how that propelled him to become, or to get sucked into the movement. And then he goes into exile, and then in exile he learns about how to, through Mkonto Wesizwe, he learns how to be able to fight and fight for himself. But then he realizes that it's not just about avenging against the apartheid system and all that. It's about love, and love starts within, and then how does he spread that love to those in South Africa and humanity, you know?
All right, Mandla, we're going to leave it there for now, but we'll be back.
Okay, sure.
We'll now go for a quick ad break, but do stay tuned for more. Hello and welcome back. We are still talking to Mandla Dube and Thabo Rametsi from the movie Kalushi, the story of Solomon Mahlangu. Now, Thabo, how much did you know about Solomon Mahlangu before you took the role?
If I'm quite frank, I didn't know anything about him except that he was named after a few, they've named a few streets and bridges after him. My discovery of Solomon was through this movie. In every scene, I had to find out who this guy was, because there wasn't a lot out on him on the internet or anything like that, which is quite sad, because maybe he's not as iconic as the other struggle heroes, but he definitely resonates with the youth, and we don't have many young icons we can look up to, and so he was a great challenge, and just discovering him in every question and every scene, that was beautiful. And
what sort of research did you have to do to equip yourself for this role?
Well, I have to give a lot of credit to my fantastic director here, Martin Scorsese. He took us to Solomon's ancestral home. We met Solomon's real-life brother, Chief Lucas, who was an advisor of the movie. We went to his grave. We went to Solomon's grave, and that it informed the culture and the spirit in the story. So we carried his spirit through the entire movie. We did it very culturally through our ancestors, and I think that's the gap between us and the guys from the overseas when they do it, is that they don't connect with our spiritual side.
Now, still on locations, what other places did you go in order to shoot this movie?
So ask the question again?
What different locations did you go to shoot the movie?
Well, the story takes place on the background of the canvas is South Africa, it's Mozambique, and it's Angola. So due to budget constraints, we couldn't go to Mozambique, we couldn't go to Angola. So we shot in and around Pretoria, obviously where he comes from, Mamelodi, Johannesburg for those South African scenes. But when it came to the scenes that take place in Angola, we shot just outside of Pretoria in Magaliesburg, and Angola as well, in Henop's river area. So what you're seeing as Angola there is all dressed by our wonderful production designer, Chantel Carter, and we had a wonderful cinematographer who I went to school with, Tommy Maddox Upshaw, and he was able to just do a splendid job. And our producer obviously was able to put together a team that could be able to execute that. His name is Walter Ayers.
All right. Now, Kalushi was also a stage production in Pretoria. How different was the movie to the stage production?
Well, in stage you can only be able to capture a life story, to a certain point, and it's played. Limited number of cast members play a lot of characters, so you couldn't really unravel and open it up in stage. And obviously, stage is moving. It's not a motion picture. It's a very still image that people come in and out of it, So as what we were doing, we took the narrative to another level, and that was very pleasing to be able to have that opportunity to do that. And what we also did in the motion picture was that we put the whole common purpose law under interrogation, because the common purpose law is what got Solomon Mahlangu executed. And if you know the common purpose law in South Africa, it says that it doesn't matter that you didn't pull the trigger on a crime or anything like that. As long as you were with whoever was who pulled the trigger, you're guilty just as much as they are. So that's really the angle that we took in as far as the story is concerned. And it's not a biopic, it's something like a biopic.
Now, briefly, Thabo, what message are you hoping that the audiences will take after watching the movie?
All right, first of all, this is not an apartheid movie. I'm going to say that again. This is not an apartheid movie. This is a blockbuster. This is an epic. It's a political thriller. There's guns, there's sex, there's exile, there's everything, there's drama. So that's the first thing. You're going to be entertained thoroughly. And when you walk away with it, I hope you walk away with a heart full of love. All right. That's what we want.
All right, thank you so much. I'm afraid that is where we'll have to leave it, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate that.
That was director Mandla Dube and actor Thabo Rametsi talking to us about the film Kalushi, the story of Solomon Mahlangu. You are still watching Afroshowbiz News. Now, if you have missed any of our shows, be sure to catch us on our YouTube channel by simply searching for Afroshowbiz News. We'll now go for a quick ad break and we'll be right back. Nigerian pop star Adokia Kyria, known by her stage name Adokia, has never ceased to surprise the public. The singer has recently expressed her wishes to trade herself for the freedom of more than 200 schoolgirls who are still in custody of Islamist militant group Boko Haram after they were kidnapped in April. In a recent interview with a Nigerian daily newspaper, 23-year-old Adokia expressed her concern for the 200 kidnapped girls. They were taken from a secondary school in the remote northeastern rural town of Chibok. The mass abduction of the schoolgirls triggered a campaign using the Twitter hashtag #BringBackOurGirls, supported by many around the world. Adokia is the latest celebrity to join the campaign, demanding the girls' release. She has offered her virginity in exchange for the girls' safety. Known for publicly disclosing her sexual status, her recent antic has received mixed reactions on social networks. While many have taken to Twitter to praise her bravery, others have asked her to withdraw the offer. Others have also criticized it as an attention-seeking media stunt. Adokia's apparent sacrifice comes after news that over 60 girls and women, as well as 31 boys, are suspected to have been abducted by Boko Haram from villages in northeast Nigeria. The recent abductions took place in a series of raids in Borno over the past week, with dozens of people being killed from the attacks. The majority of the school children remain missing, despite international pressure for their safe return. The Massy Music Outreach recently performed at the Cape Quarter in Cape Town. The event was part of the 2014 Muse Quality World Basque.
31 children violinists under the direction of Titia Blake were all at the Massy Music Outreach. They played vibrant medleys of African and classical pieces as part of the World Basque Guinness World Record attempt. The World Basque was attempting the entrance to the Guinness World Record for the largest Basque at multiple venues across the world. To set the new world record, 10 groups with at least 25 buskers at each location had to perform in unison at different venues, basking simultaneously for at least 5 minutes. As part of this record attempt, more than 300 licensed London Underground buskers were also invited to perform. Music Quality is a project that supports music education projects for disadvantaged children in developing countries. The charity encourages a wide variety of music in its projects, with particular emphasis on the local music culture and communal music making.
The lineup for this year's Moretele Park Tribute Concert has been announced. It includes Mama winners Mafiki Zolo, Wawela Music Award winners Mikasa, and Summer winner Zonke. South Africa is celebrating 20 years of democracy with the star-studded procession of South African music at Moretele Park outside Pretoria. The event is taking place on 30 August in Mamelodi. This year's concert will pay homage to South Africa's democracy and its musical heroes and icons. Spectators will be treated to jazz, pop, traditional, and dance music. Straight from performing at the BETs in America, Mafiki Zolo will be headlining the event. House music maestros Mekasa will be there to get the crowd up on their feet. Other artists set to perform are Johnny Clegg, Yvonne Chaga Chaga, Leta Mbulu, Jonas Gwangwa, Thomas Chawuke, Lira, and Ringo. Still on jazz, music legend Kaifa Semenya and Leta Mbulu will be playing at the one-night jazz concert on 9 August at Carnival City's Big Top Arena. Along with them will be popular a cappella group The Soil. Willie Gezi is changing the Democratic Republic of Congo's vibrant art scene. She uses innovative methods in her art that is often erotic and has sexual themes.
29-year-old Congolese artist Willie Gezi uses the rooftop of her house for her latest paintings. In Congo, she's known for her style of painting that involves bright colors, text and images. Gezi uses paint, paper, magazine cutouts and skeletal figures with faces resembling masks to create provocative pieces.
Moi, je travaille de ce que je vois, de ce que j'écoute, de ce que j'attends.
My work is inspired by what I see and what I hear. My work is also influenced by what's happening in the news. And if it shocks people, it's because it's a fact. It's something that happened.
Gezi admits that making work that is different was a conscious decision in order to give her audience something they didn't expect from a Congolese artist. She also highlights the struggles of daily life in her country about abuse and violence against women. Another artist says, most artists struggle to make a living, as for many people buying art is a luxury only tourists and the wealthy can afford.
Comme tout le métier, c'est pas facile.
Like in many other jobs, it's not easy for artists in Congo. The difficulty we face is that we really don't have enough galleries to exhibit our work. We don't have many art curators.
Gezi is determined to make her work visible and seen by a lot of people despite the challenges. She has showcased in various international exhibitions. Last year, she was part of the laureate program at the French Institute in Paris.
We have now come to the end of our show. You can watch our repeats every Sunday at 2 a.m. and again at 1:30 p.m. From me and the rest of the Afroshowbiz news team, it's thank you and goodbye.